Okay, so we're back in the Forest Temple. And as I explained in the last run through, these 4 torches are extinguished, and we have to basically, in order to complete pretty much the entire dungeon, we have to find those flames and return them. I don't think I mentioned previously, but whenever you see one of those blue blocks that has the same symbol on it as the Door of Time, then yeah, the Song of Time is the song you need. Obviously, at this stage in the game, you don't have the fairy slingshot anymore, so you pretty much have to use the hookshot to get rid of these guys. And the game does make it slightly more challenging for you because, yeah, you can't actually get to that guy, I don't think. My understanding with those guys is that if the base of them is directed towards you, then that's when they will cross the line and try and strike you. I don't know how to say. Map, and this is probably the first dungeon in which I will probably be looking at the map. You know, I may cut it out of the playthrough, or I may leave it in just because, you know, if it's somewhere where I have to look at the map, then it probably is somewhere a little bit obscure. But as much as I said with the Door of Time, if you ever see this kind of, I don't know, I always assumed it's some kind of like bull ring, like the kind of nose ring that you'd see on a bull or something like that. I don't know. Whenever you see this symbol, that means that you can have a shot to it. A little trick if you want to just scale around quickly like I did just there. You can press A to just jump down, and then if you hold forward a bit like you would if you were just you know, if you were just pushing forward to run, Link will grasp onto the lines again. I always get confused between these two bells. Just from the connection there is. I walked right into that. Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is another room. Similar to the first, but not the first. Ah. I think that I have a memory that I couldn't... Ooh! Hook shot to that. Well, maybe I can. Ah. Okay, so it might be that you can hook shot to it, but you can't actually get the game to let you stay up there. Ah, there we go. Okay. Just not quite getting it from the right angle. Yeah. A little bit too high just to slash. I'm picking up the Gull Skull Toolers as I go along, just because I might come back and do them at some point. I haven't fully decided yet, but you know, a bit like the heart pieces. Whenever I just see one, I just think, well, I might as well grab it. So, I believe, if you look at the map, just to kind of show you the kind of direction we've taken now, is that I've essentially only really scaled between those two rooms, and then used the walkway beneath just to get between the two wells. So you can see there's quite a few different entranceways and rooms that we haven't looked at yet. So I'm going to need to get my bearings again. I forget what these guys are called. Bubble. That's original. One thing, you know, this is again very nitpicky. One thing I think Zelda doesn't always pick up on right away is the names of enemies. I mean, these are Stalfos. I did mention them at an earlier stage in the game. I suppose they've been named okay, but you know, Blue Bubble seems a bit lazy to me. Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. That's pretty much the advice I would give. Actually, it's just kind of, you have to kind of look for patterns in the way that they move, and make sure you're sort of defending the entire time. And as soon as they come in for that sort of upward, downward, and then upward strike like that, just let down your guard and press A to jump, and just get a jump slash in there. Took a risk there and it didn't pay off, but okay. I think there's a fairy in this one. Yeah. We're good, aren't we? Fairy. Yep. Might as well restore one heart. One thing I'm glad that that's actually come up, because I tried looking online, because I know that I think in my Zora's domain in the Lord Jabu Jabu section, I'm pretty sure whoa. My buttons aren't working. I can't slash my sword. Okay. I always seem to remember that you could, that even when targeting, you could do a sword slash while holding the shield, but apparently you can't. There we go. So there you go. That's me blaming the game when it's just being stupid. Yeah, I mentioned in a previous video, just that I thought that fairies restored either 6 or 8 hearts. I'm pretty sure actually that it's more than that. I think it's at least 9, just from some of the videos I've seen online. But I've tried googling it. I tried googling like how many hearts does a pink fairy replenish, and I can't find that information anywhere. So maybe it's all of them. I'm pretty sure that it's not though. I seem to remember that you know, fighting against Ganon for the final boss, I should say, without revealing too much. Fighting against the final boss, and when I died, the fairy did not replenish all my hearts. So. I hate their name, I hate the way they move, I hate how annoying they are when they fly at you. I hate the way they sound as well. Like every aspect of them I just despise. If anyone in the comments actually likes this enemy, just say so. Because you know I don't want to make any preformed judgments about the way the game's designed, but forewarning as well, I always have to think about this puzzle a couple of times because I think there's some confusion about how it actually gives me access to the upper floor. That always seems to throw me. In fact, it might not be this one, it must be another one, because that was pretty simple. Must be this one. Yeah, I think it's this bit. So I have to find a way around there. And if I remember rightly, this can be easily missed, but there's a ladder here, which is kind of just tucked into an alcove that's actually pretty difficult to notice your first time around. If you follow that around, you can find the other side of this block. So actually that first part I didn't really need to do. I didn't need to go around and pull it from the other side because that's not efficient. That doesn't help in any way. So yeah, you just need to go up this ladder first, push it from that side, then climb up the green one. Come on. And then you're ready to push the rest of the way from this side. The only thing that, I mean, you know, having played a lot more modern video games recently, and then coming back to Zelda, does feel a little bit. I mean, the camera angles were still exceptional for the time. You know, I would still always argue that I think the smoothness of the transition between Z targeting and then turning back to you know, your traditional sort of over the shoulder view. It is excellent, but unfortunately, I think just turning when Link comes around tight corners, that does feel a bit dated now. Just because you can see when I was heading toward the ladder there, I'm pushing the joystick forward almost because I feel like I'm playing a modern video game and it's going to direct me toward the ladder almost, as a matter of course. And I end up moving left of it, I end up moving right of it. Okay, that was interesting. Just some paintings that are laughing at me as I'm walking by. That's unusual. Left myself open to attack there. Thought he might get a slash in there, but yeah, if you really just need to get a hit on him, then just when he does that upward and downward strike is the easiest way. I feel like these guys might be programmed slightly differently to the others. They're more defensive, I think. Almost test your patience a bit more. And they don't seem to be doing. They don't seem to be doing so many stationary slashes as well, which is, like that, which is the easiest way to get hits in. They seem to be doing a lot more of those sort of quite tricky jump slashes like that. The annoying thing is that if you take even if you're defending, you can. Yeah, that would have been embarrassing if I died there, and you can see my emulator was starting to slow down, starting to panic for me, obviously. But get rid of this annoying beeping noise. Still infuriates me in old Zelda games, playing them again now. The low health alert noise just it's not really helpful. I've never considered it helpful. Okay, so we have the fairy bow. This essentially, much like the fairy slingshot, essentially served the same purpose as an adult, so it feels like a bit of a token weapon sometimes, but it will be important as we go along. And you'll notice that we can go either back on where we were, or we can march forward. I can't actually remember which is the door that I went through. I'm pretty sure this is the way that I came in. See these torches again. That's interesting. Oh, okay, so this is actually, this is not the way that I came in. This is the other way. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you can see that there's another painting with another Poe. So we know that we need to get these flames back. Oh, too smart for me. So I have to find some way. Ah, she's jumping between them. But she doesn't like it when I when I approach her or even pull out my bow. But if you have enough distance. Where's she escaped to now? If you have enough distance, she won't see you. And finally, she won't have anywhere to go. So you're probably thinking, well, she just flew through the wall. But what she will do is fly down here, and she has the typical sort of mechanics as a normal Poe. Which I think I did kill a Poe earlier, but I didn't really fight one. What you need to do, and it can get a bit tricky. I forget how annoying some of the enemies are. Before I step along. But you need to untarget her, because it's when you're looking at her directly that she will just disappear. That was very sloppy jump slash on my part. So the best thing to do is just kind of vaguely point yourself in her direction, and then when she reappears, target her and just quickly get a jump slash in. And she shouldn't really be any trouble other than that. Oh, come on. That's so annoying. Again, just kind of the age of the camera angle is coming through a little bit there for me. Just because if I were able to manipulate the camera with the right stick, as I feel that I should be able to with the PS4 controller, obviously you won't have that disconnect so often. But I'm not meaning to shit all over the mechanics of the camera angle. I still think, for its time, it was still spectacular. Now, in this room, you'll notice that we've come back to where we came in, and we have to do much the same with this Poe. Where's she gone? God damn it. See, I'm in an awkward position now where wherever I move, even if I look at her, she's just gonna disappear each time, so I kind of need to... There we go. Joel. Make sure my sword is drawn. I wasn't sure then whether if you target her before she reappears, whether she actually does reappear. But I think once she starts that sort of animation of reappearing, you can pretty much. Ooh. Yeah, you have to be quick, because if she reappears and then immediately starts cycling through into her attack, then you won't be able to get a sword slash through that. So as you can see, every time we defeat one of the Poe sisters, the flames return to their respective torches. So if we went back to the main room now, which I think we do have to, then you'll see that that 2 of the 4 main torches there have been restored. Kind of looking for that stray heart now. Yeah. One thing I mentioned in a previous video that I'm just going to bring up pretty randomly here is that I think it was my first video, in fact. I said that Navi, as the game progresses, Navi's text turns white, and I always seem to have it in my head that was the case. But in this playthrough now, I've sort of noticed that she. I think maybe I was really wide of the mark there, because it seems that her text is still blue. I don't know whether it's when she's. There's probably some kind of mechanic where if you're just looking for advice from her, if you're just listening to what she's saying, I think maybe it's white, and then if she's interrupting you and kind of like giving you a direct message, you know, such as about the creatures that are hanging from the ceiling in here, then it's blue. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna run around and show you what can happen if you. Oh, right, yeah. So, ooh, okay. I'm gonna let him come back because I'll show you. Whoa. Oh no! No! Okay, so that's what can happen, and you just get thrown back into the beginning of the dungeon. Wow, that was bloody careless of me. Getting cocky then. I think you can just... Yeah. Easiest way to get rid of those guys. That is frustrating. There you can see the 2 torches that we've done. I don't know if does it tell you the names of the... Yeah, okay, so yeah, it just tells me that. I'm not actually sure if we have to go through this way again. I can't stand them. So yeah, case in point, I can't remember whether they're called like shadow fiends or master hands or something like that, but the things that hang in the ceiling that Navi warns about, if they're not really dangerous, they're just really annoying, because they will, you know, as in previous Zelda games, you know, they're present in a lot of them, except maybe some of the newer ones. But they will rather than directly attacking you, unless they actually get onto the ground and follow you around. They will just sort of reach down from the ceiling and send you back to the first room, which can be you know, frustrating beyond belief. Particularly when you have to kind of run through all here, and you're just wasting time retracing your steps. So Okay, right, we're back again. I'm gonna try and be careful this time. And obviously, it's the fact that you have to, that these things are chasing you right when you're sort of running into. Okay. Oh man, they're bloody quick. And because you're climbing up steps here, yeah, they will. So I wanted to kind of get in there and say, see what they were called, but it's just they're a bit too quick for me to actually target. It's easier for me just to swing my sword. Oh, there's nothing here. There's literally nothing here. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, I'm definitely gonna cut this bit. Oh no, I need a key. Right. I think I know what I've done here. So we made it all the way. I made it all the way back here, and I need a key anyway. I think it has something to do with the previous tunnel room. And again, this is one of those things that every small key so far has kind of come pretty naturally to us, but this one will be a little bit tricky because it's not going to be something that you'll find linearly as you're playing through the dungeon. It's something that you kind of have to spot and think, okay, there's something to do with the puzzle here. Right, okay. I think it's just through this way. Yeah, so this tunnel is this sort of hallway, I should say, rather than tunnel, is all sort of twisted, and there's not really much of a. I don't think there's much of a hint of it, other than it just this being really a really twisted and messed up place anyway. So it's kind of representative of that. Stupid bumps. I hate them so much. Right. But you actually have to revert that back to its sort of correct state using the fairy bow. So that can be missed quite easily, actually. And obviously, the first time you go through that door, you don't have the fairy bow, so you don't have the kind of impetus to do that. So you have to remember that you have to come back. Basically. All right. Now this is going to be interesting. Hear that guy coming for me. But this is the boss key. Every dungeon in the adult section of the game, much like small keys, will have a boss key. Now I can't remember whether you're supposed to go in here or not, so I just thought, well, rather than fret about it, I'll just jump in. Plus I can escape the master hand. I think they're called master hands. I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice and the way I'm sort of playing through the Forest Temple. I'm not a fan. I really don't like this dungeon, actually. It's for me. The enemies are annoying. Oh, see, the enemies are annoying. I find that the puzzles are a little bit disjointed, I think, sometimes. I do like the Poe mechanic. I think that kind of feels very, very neat and together to me, but I don't know, there's just several different things about about the layout of the, like, where are we now? What does this have to do with where we were going before? You know, it feels just, yeah, like I say, disjointed. But Floor Master, okay. I don't know whether the other ones are called. I think the other ones might have a different name because the Floor Master has looks the same, but actually has different mechanics. Yeah, because you get all these little hands, which, if you don't slay them quick enough, they will bundle together again and reform the Floor Master. So you basically have to defeat him again. So just try and be. I would say don't waste your time targeting them too much. Just you know, head in their direction and just give them a quick swipe of your sword, and that'll be enough to take care of them. Okay, so where was it we needed the... Again, I'm gonna have to find my bearings because I need to go back to where... Okay. Where we needed the key. Which, I do know the way, but I might be taking the wrong way. Again, you can see that. Again, one of the things that I find irritating about this dungeon is that even though you know I know the basic layout of the dungeon, because I don't know it like the back of my hand, then it'll punish you. It just means that you need to I had to retrace my steps because I got my ass handed to me by that master hand thing. Do that? I think I do. Yeah, I think I want to revert that back again, and then yeah. Yeah, so it is just irritating that the dungeon will, if you get caught by the master hand thing and then get thrown back to the beginning of the dungeon, you have to retrace your steps, and then you pretty much have to retrace your steps anyway. Just a bit irritating. Right. Okay. Now we're in a place where we can. Okay, what you want to do is jump immediately onto this platform here, and we need to. Okay. You want to line yourself up so that. Nice and slow. You can basically shoot an arrow through the fire and melt that ice switch. Oof. So you have to. I don't think I need to go through there yet. It's through here. It's just like the way back up or something. Okay. Yeah, presumably this is just a way that you can get back to the beginning if you need to for whatever reason. Yeah, so this room can come on, Navi. The ceiling is falling down. This room can throw you right from the start, but it's easy enough to just kind of get this first switch, which will open the far door, and the switch will be sort of, you know, will be free, obviously. And if I remember rightly, oh come on, you can just get to the chest, and the chest will be protected, obviously, as well. And then you just get to the door. So it's, you know, it's not too much to it. It'll be difficult to handle. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, 1 minute. That's a shame. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to push the blocks together in a way that it completes the picture of that Poe. So you can see that this blue one here is just completely redundant and we don't need it. They don't give you overly long to do it, actually. I suppose because it's you know, it's quite an easy puzzle, but still. Am I going to break the 10-second mark? Yes. Okay. So Amy will immediately appear. That's tricky. So, yeah, Amy's mechanics are slightly different from her sister's, I think, in that she seems to be she doesn't seem to be bouncing off my shield quite so much, I feel. It's funny that if I get far enough away from her, the dungeon music comes back. I think another reason that I do like the Poe mechanic, but one of the reasons it gets under my skin, like some of the other enemies in this dungeon, is just that that was a pretty boring battle. You know, there's just kind of you're just sort of deflecting and waiting for your chance to get in. That, you know, when I'm fighting the Stalfos, there's always a chance that they could swing in and take down a couple of my hearts. But Poes, they're not really any threat. They're it's just irritating that you can't attack them when you want to. Okay, yeah. Oh no. Looks like we've upset this one. So we've eliminated all her sisters. Shut up. Okay. What you need to do is that wait for the first sign of movement. Oof. Sure we're here now, yeah. So that one was real. The way that I could tell that that one was real, of all her sort of like her shadows, is because she did a quick spin right at the start. Yeah. So you just need to watch for that. As soon as she sort of summons these sort of doppelgangers around her. Unfortunately, the game is quite responsive to the direction that you're facing and which one you want to target, so that helps. So this room can be confusing, particularly if you haven't done it for 5 years like me, but it's not too bad. All you have to kind of really realise to understand the mechanic of what's going on is that the room, you're not really moving the room. You're moving the walls that are sort of encasing the room. I don't know how to describe that, but basically, like where the two tunnels here will lead, that doesn't change. You're only changing where you have access to. So you have to keep cycling through because there's several different rooms that you can actually alcoves that you can enter. Oh. That's easily missable. Where is he? Yeah, that's probably. Sure. I don't really use decorating nuts very much, to be honest. Except for like I said, you know, very early in the game. Maybe I should utilise them more. One more should do the trick, and yeah, I think one more will open it up to the boss room. So my advice for this is really just to don't spin back and forth. I think just keep going in one direction. And oh, you're kidding! So I must have missed a switch somewhere. Oh, okay, yeah. So when you get those first two switches, one of them opens up this one, and I think, yeah, you have to head back, and then it will open up the boss door there. That's actually pretty neat mechanic, neat puzzle. Yeah, so if you do one complete cycle through, obviously that's all you really need. And then this is the first boss door. All the boss doors will look like that from now on, and they'll have a key slot that you need to have the boss key in order to enter. And this section kind of confused me for a bit, because I thought, well, what are you supposed to do? There's no boss here. And it's one of the few Zelda bosses that if you just stand in the center here, nothing will ever happen. Like, nothing will trigger. You have to try and leave. Evil spirit from beyond. This, in my opinion, is the redeeming feature of the Forest Temple, because I'm not a big fan, but that could hurt me. Because this boss battle is really fun. Can be a bit of a pain, actually, if you don't know what you're doing and you're not really paying attention. The trick is to stand in the center, but if you know that he's going to be coming out of a painting near you, because he will be attempting to come out of several different paintings. You have to try and figure out which one he's coming from, and I think there is a trick. There is a trick to figure out which one it is. I think it's something like he leans to the right or something. Well, he's a little bit. He's like a little bit to the left than what he would be if he was sort of riding down the road dead center. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because then obviously the animation for the other one is that he's going to be turning left. So if the other Ganondorf is already sort of on the left side, this one I think actually might be. Yeah. So you just need to, as soon as he's sort of like coming in, hit him with an arrow. This one I think is going to be fake. Yeah. There's not a whole lot that I mean, it might be just because I'm still kind of fumbling with the controls a little bit. There's not a whole lot that you can do if you're not really looking at the right one, I don't think. By that point you've left too much time. This one might be real. Yeah. There's not enough time in recognizing that you're not looking at the right Ganondorf, or like Spirit Ganon. This one I think is real. Yeah. Okay, so you only have to hit him 3 times. Make himself known. Yeah. I'm gonna try something I've never tried. Oh no, I'm not actually. No, I'm not. I was going to say I was going to try and deflect his attacks with an empty bottle, which you can do, but I'd rather keep that fairy, I think. Okay, so you'll see there. That wasn't too bad. I managed to get two sword jumps and one slash in there. The trick is to kind of actually keep your distance from the guy. Just not even so much that you get a good rhythm, but more so. More so that his attacks actually do get deflected back at him and don't just sort of careen off. So you can take one of two routes. You can either be the one who times it, or you can be the one who just slashes wildly. Oh no! My emulation just killed itself. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, that was an absolute disaster. So yeah, I couldn't save it. Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose there would have been much I could do if from that point, even if I could save it, just because, you know, the emulation stopped then. There's nothing keeping it going. But yeah, the absolute worst time to get booted from my own emulation is right when I'm probably about to get the last jump slash on Phantom Ganon there. So I am going to keep that whole playthrough in, just because you know, you know, like I want there to be visual proof that there could not have been a worse time for that to screw up. So now you get to enjoy me playing through again. I'm joking. I'm not going to force you through the entire Forest Temple again, because I would wish that on my worst enemy. It really is that mediocre of a dungeon, in my opinion. Oh god, I hate you guys so much. So much. You're so annoying. Like, I can't even slash you. Why can't I slash you? What is this? What is this? What is going on? Okay, finally we're back. Yeah, I'll admit I'm not in a fantastic mood after all that, but let's get back into it. I still can't. That worst possible time that could have happened. Phantom Ganon taunting me. surprised that took me less than 40 minutes actually, just to kind of basically get through the dungeon. That's not too bad. Because, you know, I can expect that once I've gone through once, it's going to be easier to go through it immediately after. Hopefully, we won't get any crashes this time. Left, pretty sure it was real. Oh! You know, it's possible that I could be wrong about the whole coming up on the left or right hand side of the picture, because I'm starting to question my own logic here. I may it could have been that just on that first boss battle before the game crashed that maybe I was just getting lucky. Again, I'm trying to force the game to give us some distance, just so that we can actually stand these. But it's fine. Maybe I have to stand still. Oh, okay. Okay, I think what the game is doing there is that for the first couple of strikes there, ooh, that was good. That was essentially 8 hits there. Oh! Get cocky there. You know, that's what happens when you get 8 hits in. Just think, oh, you know, I'm invincible now, he can't do anything. You know, blindside you. I suppose that's kind of what makes me favour, rather than doing the weights. That's what actually makes me favour the wild. Are you kidding me? Unreal. All right, this time we got through it. That was a really long rally. That strikes me as like the longest rally I've ever done with Phantom Cannon, but maybe it does get that long. Okay. Get another heart container. So lesson learned, guys. Always save. I've never had an emulator crash on me before, so I think I'm gonna from now on in this walkthrough, even though it does make the frames jump a little bit, which I don't like so much in the recording sense, because I like it to be smooth, but I'm gonna have to make regular save states, just to kind of prevent that from happening again. Okay, so yeah, quite a random scene there with the Deku Sprout, which is, you know, there's a sort of semblance of death and rebirth between the Deku Tree and the Deku Tree Sprout, which I always appreciated. I liked that they didn't just leave the Deku Tree as deceased. They have kind of recognised this idea of new life out of death, that kind of thing, which again, as a kid growing up, felt pretty, that felt pretty high-minded. It was a theme that I'd never really encountered before, but I did appreciate in my first playthrough. yeah, so I'm still really annoyed that the emulator crashed right at that moment. But you know, we've gotten through it. We've come through it on the other side, and we've saved Kokiri Forest at least. Kokiri Forest is you know, free of all the nasties from before. For some reason I can't see. Yeah, you can see. That's weird that you can see the fairies. You can see all the fairies, but whenever you can only see the Kokiri when you get close. I'm not sure if that's the emulator or the actual N64, but yeah. So Saria was the sage of the forest, as we suspected, and it's again quite a poignant moment there that you know, she recognises and has kind of like really emotionally distanced herself from you know, being Link's friend, and kind of taken it upon herself, taken on that mantle of being the sage of the forest. So it's quite a sad moment actually when I think about it. I've never really it's only really occurred to me in this playthrough that that's how kind of how emotionally brought that little scene was. Just Saria saying, no, you don't have to explain it to me. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, because this is going to end up being a pretty long playthrough, I'm going to take us back to Kakariko. I'm probably going to save it there and end the playthrough. Is there anything special about this tree? I don't think there is. No. Occasionally, if you roll into trees, you can knock the gold skull through that. Ooh, you can switch to night. Ooh, no, just caught the end of the day. So when you're in Kakariko, it doesn't change. Time doesn't pass. So I'm basically in this perpetual state between day and night now. I think sort of perpetual twilight. Alright, let's save it there, and I'll pick it up there for the next session. But thanks for bearing with me, guys, and obviously I'm going to be editing the heck out of this video, just because, yeah, there's we had to basically double up on time there. But I think, you know, that's not too bad. I've managed to run through the same dungeon twice in less than, well, it's taken me 52 minutes to get from the beginning of the Forest Temple again right to the edge of Death Mountain here. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, hopefully not too long until the next session, and hopefully see you then. Cheers.